Now we're going to talk about the abandoned ship bag and Landfall's recommended content. The first thing you need is a bag. This bag we happen to like because it is waterproof with it zipped up, and it will support 50 pounds of gear in the water and float. When the waterproof zipper is pulled in, it actually keeps everything in it dry. The most important and critical thing to have in your abandoned ship bag is an EPIRB. You want a 406 class EPIRB with a GPS in it, and you want it in the bag. This is how you're going to be found and only how you're going to be located. Second to that is a handheld radio. What we recommend is a handheld VHF radio with a bag of C batteries and the accessory battery case for the AA batteries, because if you have this charged up on the NiCad battery, it's going to run down. But if you have a bag full of AA's, you can just keep changing the AA's. This is the second most important thing. Thirdly are the flares. You have the parachute flare to tell people that somebody over in the distance is in trouble. You have the handheld flare, which is a locate thing when the rescue vessel is in sight. You light this off and they home in on it. You have either the smoke canister, where you pull the top off and throw it in the water and it makes 2 minutes of bright orange smoke, or the handheld smoke, which you can hold in your hand. My recommendation is that you keep the ship's flare kit near the abandoned ship bag, so when you leave, you take that with you. Next thing that's pretty handy is a medical kit. This is a life raft medical kit as recommended by the Coast Guard. My, again, preference is keep the ship's medical kit in a waterproof bag next to the abandoned ship bag. When you leave, take that with you too, because you're going to need possibly all the medical equipment you can get. And of course, don't forget a medical book. This, The Comprehensive Guide to Marine Medicine by Dr. Michael Jacobs, is one that we've been recommending for a number of years. It's very simple. It's literally medicine by the numbers. He has pictures in here, and it doesn't take up much space. One thing that's very important before you get in a life raft is seasick pills, and you want some more in the rafts. Life rafts are not comfortable places, and everybody's going to be seasick if they don't take their seasick medication. Whatever you take, use it. But you're going to be in a crowded position, in a crowded location. You're going to be probably a little bit nervous, wet, cold, scared. If your neighbor's throwing up on you, it's not going to improve the situation. Mirrors, you can't have enough mirrors. I've never known a lady who's going to leave the boat without her handbag, but you want a signal mirror, because a signal mirror is a very effective way to attract attention, as is a whistle. One thing that's good for life rafts, but not much else, are dye packets. This is a World War II hangover. It's orange dye in here, and when you rip the top off this and throw it in the water, it makes a huge stain in the water. You can't see that from another boat, but any aircraft will see it in the water, and it's an international signal of distress. Other things, drinking water is a good thing. If you're going to be other than very near coastal, this is a water maker. This water maker will make a pint of water in an hour if you pump it once a second for a minute. It'll make a pint of water an hour. Now, you're not going to make that much, you're not going to pump this for an hour 60 times a minute, but you've got nothing else to do, and if you pass it around the life raft, you can make enough water to survive on. The alternative to the water maker are these water packs. 2 of these are supposedly a Coast Guard ration for the day. I want a few more, but they're very handy. This is one thing that, while it's not in the safety equipment league, I would not fail to put in my abandoned ship bag. Put it in a Ziploc bag, because you're going to need it. Flashlights. Everybody should have a flashlight in their pocket, and a waterproof flashlight's the only kind to have on a boat. Space blankets. These are very handy. I'd keep them in the glove compartment of the car. What this does is, when you open it up, it keeps the heat in and the cold out, and it's a handy way to give somebody who's hypothermic a little bit warmer. Food. With a 406 EPIRB, you shouldn't be in the life raft for more than 24, 36 hours, but food isn't bad. And these food rations are really energy bars, and put a couple of those in there will give people something else to do. The last thing, and this is an expensive option, but a very good option, this is called a SART, S-A-R-T, or a Search and Rescue Radar Transponder. What happens with this is when you turn it on, any radar set, the antenna comes over the horizon, it will hit this and this will then answer back with SOS on the ship's radar screen, and they know it's a distress situation and they will home in on it and come get you.